Welcome back, pre-algebra students. We're in lesson 24. We're going to talk about the metric system today. I know that we don't really use it in the US very much, but it is the standard in Europe and the rest of the world. And the reason why they use it is because it is so easy to calculate. Basically, when you go from one unit to another, as far as like we would go from inches to feet, we have to multiply or divide by 12. All they have to do is move a decimal point one way or the other. So that's why it's so easy. It's very much like the place 10 or the base 10 system of our numbers. They've incorporated into their distance and mass measurements as well. So they have two base units of measure. For distance, they use meters. Now we use inches, feet, yards, miles, but they just use meters, and that's all they use. And for mass, we use pounds and ounces and tons. They use grams. Now, one of the things they do, this is their base unit. So I'm going to put the base unit here. The base unit is the suffix of the word. But then they have what they call their power of 10, so times 10. As you go from the base up, from meters up, you're going to multiply by 10. And then as you go from meters down, you're going to divide by 10. And I'll show you what that means. As we go up, we're going to use deca. That is D-E-K-A. And a decameter means literally 10 meters. Right? It's 10 meters. So all we're going to do is we're going to say meters times 10. And the abbreviation for decameter is DK. And this is M. And this is G. So decagrams would be the same thing. It would be D, K, G, and I'm sorry, this would be DKM. Decameters, decagrams. So 1 decagram is 10 grams. 1 decameter is 10 meters. You see how that works? So the next one up is hecto. Hecto, and that is meters times, or it's the base. Let me take meters out of here. It's the base times 100. Because we've gone up one place value. So instead of the tens place, we're in the hundreds place. And that is a hectometer here. So hectometer, and that abbreviation is HM, and this would be a hectogram, and that would be HG. So a hectometer is 100 meters, and a hectogram is 100 grams. And then finally, we have kilo. And I know you've heard kilograms before, and kilometers or kilometers. We say kilometers here. The base times 1,000. So it's just the next place value up. So a kilometer is it's km, it's 1,000 meters. And a kilogram, kg, is 1,000 grams. So that's how the metric system works. But they also have smaller units. So you can go 1/10, and that's deci. So 1/10 is the base divided by 10. right? So that is decimeters. And that is going to be DM, or decigrams. And that is DG. And then after that you have centa, and centa is going to be easy to remember because centa, that comes from a Roman word meaning 100. That's where you get the word century, which is 100 years, or centurion, which was a soldier in a battalion, and there were 100 of them in that battalion. So that's what a centurion was. That's where we get century from. So it's the base divided by 100. So 10 decimeters is 1 meter. 100 centimeters is 1 meter. And likewise, 10 centimeters is 1 decimeter, right? Okay, and then centigrams. 100 of the centigrams is 1 gram. And then you have milla, or milli. And that means the base divided by 1,000. So millimeters, it takes 1,000 millimeters, and that's mm, to equal 1 meter. It takes 10 millimeters to equal 1 centimeter. It takes 100 millimeters to equal 1 decimeter. And milligrams, which I know you've heard of before because medicine is usually given in milligrams, is mg. So 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram, right? Okay. So that is your table and your reference for all of your metric system unit of measures. So you're going to want to put all of this in your notes. Every bit of this needs to be put in as a reference. Probably not on the outside back cover, but maybe on the inside back cover where you have plenty of room. All right, so let's jump into some unit conversions using the metric system. We're going to do 24.1 right down here. And we are going to convert 528 centimeters, cm, to meters, m. All right, here's our centimeters. We know centimeters are divided by meters divided by 100, right? So for every 100 centimeters we have 1 meter. So technically all we have to do is move the decimal place. And we could do that pretty easily. But we're going to use our unit of conversion just to show that it works in the metric system as well. So 528 centimeters. And here is our unit of measure. 100 centimeters is 1 meter. Right? So we're going to put this over 1. And we're going to multiply. Now we have centimeters on the top, so we need to write this with centimeters in the bottom. Right, that cancels the centimeters, and now we are in the unit of measure for meters. So 528 divided by 100 is the amount of meters we have. And when we do this, we have 5.28 meters. You see how easy that was? It's so much easier to convert using the metric system. In fact, you can just look at this and move the decimal back 2 spaces because we have 2 zeros right here and we're dividing, so we're moving the decimal to the left. When we multiply, we move the decimal to the right. Easy peasy. All right, let's do 24.2 right here. We're going to convert, let's see if I can read this, 486 kilograms, 486 kg to grams. All right, so let's find our unit of conversion. So we have kilograms to grams. So that's the base, which is grams, times 1,000. So that means that 1 gram, 1 kilogram, that is 1,000 times the base. So that is going to be 1,000 grams. All right, so now we're going to convert. We're going to say 486 kilograms over 1 times, we're going to put kilograms in the bottom, so 1,000 grams over 1 kilogram. We cancel the unit of measure, which means 486 times 1,000. So that's going to be 486,000 grams. And if we had put that, if we had said 1 times 1 and put that over 1, it would still just be 486,000 grams. We just saved a step. All right, you see how easy these are? You guys can do these. I have every bit of faith. We have one more, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it right here. 24.3. We're going to convert 350 decimeters, dm, to meters. All right, so we find our unit of measure. Decimeters, it takes 10 decimeters to equal 1 meter. So let's write that here. 1 meter is equal to 10 decimeters, okay? All right, so we're going to convert, let's do 350 decimeters over 1 times, we're going to put the meter in the top and decimeter in the bottom. I'm going to move this unit of measure up here out of the way. There we go. And now we're going to say 350. These two canceled. 350 divided by 10 is the number of meters we have. So that is going to equal 35 meters. Easy peasy. All right, so be sure to kind of give this some attention. Try writing all of the different comparisons, the different units of measure as fractions and units of reference. So for instance, 1 kilometer, find out how many meters that is. That's going to be the base times 1,000. So that's going to be 1,000 meters, right? So 1,000 meters. A hectometer, 1 hectometer is 100 meters, right? 1 decameter is going to be 10 meters. So you can go back and forth. You could even say 1 kilometer is worth 100 decameters, right? Because it's 10 off from meters. So you drop one of the zeros. All right, so just look at these conversions, kind of get an idea of which ones are above. If you can remember the order here, then you can remember, which is greater than the other and what their value of that is. Because you're just going to, when you go above meters, you're going to add a 0 place or a tens place. And when you go below meters, you're going to divide and add a place, right? All right, so that is all we have for lesson 24. I will see you in lesson 25.